let's go into Arsenal. Interesting week for the North London. We got to be careful. You know where we are.
Boy,
Don Robbie might just appear from the ground. Do you get me?
Notice how Don Robbie don't crash our shows no more. Once upon a time, that front door used to burst open. Boof, belly first, then he walks in.
Fucking Phantom tax. Robbie tax.
Yo, for real. Robbie used to come try to tax us, bro.
Robbie tax, you know.
My word. Not the result they would have wanted. A lot of controversy in that. I think the main headline is they probably think it's points dropped. There is the Saliba penalty. Of course, there's the Ethan Ranieri injury as well. Apparently, Don Robbie just cancelled his show tomorrow.
I think he's saying cancel
our show. He's cancelled
our show. Oh, man.
Hey, I'll pop up. I'll be at weekend roundup. He's crashed. See me tomorrow at weekend roundup.
Hey, listen. No, not goal. Whoever's out there, listen, BR, listen, free agency, but not the result they would have wanted. And obviously, in retrospect, they probably look at this game against United now and thinking, damn, if we had won our game, what that would mean. Guess the question I'll pose to all of you is, what do you make on Arsenal right now? Because we do a lot of talking week on week on where things are. But one thing that's really coming to mind for me is there's a lot of Arsenal fans saying that we are not as good as we were last year. And every season, you go into the season as a fan, as a club, being like, we want to be better than we were the season before. Why not Arsenal better than they were last year? I think it's safe to say they're not, right?
No way.
Have they done anything to improve themselves to be better than last year?
They signed Raheem Sterling, Calafiori and Moreno, innit?
So, no. So then, arguably, at what point do we assess that Arsenal did not do enough to make them go in the direction that they need to go in?
We said it in September, bruv.
September, start of the season.
This is one of the first episodes.
When everybody was doing their content roundups of the winners and losers of the window, the previews, everyone said it. Have Arsenal done enough in this window?
People were saying 8
But I
out
don't
of 10
like
window.
that. At the
People
same
were saying
time,
8 out of 10 window.
I don't always like that narrative because, as I said before about the Liverpool situation, Gaze has been non-existent. So the transfer window isn't the be-all and end-all.
100%.
So Arsenal fans, by and large, right now are using that as a crutch. The window's not been good enough. The window's not been good enough. I'm like, you can get hyped and you can get vexed about it, but the reality is, what are you doing in the training? What methods are you? Because they've had the most yellow cards for time wasting.
Yeah.
You know, they're bagging goals from set pieces more than any other team at the moment. They're not scoring a bag of goals from open play. So what you've done from training has taken you away from what we probably all grew up watching Arsenal be: fluid football, passing, tiki-taka.
But I think when the summer window finished, I think they thought they were going to just add on and carry on, because you got to remember, Calafiori was the wonder kid at the Euros. He's going to come in and add.
But what did Italy do in Euros?
Upgrade on Zinchenko. Marino, they spent chasing the whole summer. Was going to be, Arteta, little project, and he's going to be the missing link in the 8, and Partey's going to be phased out. Partey's been arguably the best centre mid this season.
Yeah.
And
he's been playing it right
Sterling back. Don't forget, Sterling at the time was, hey, we fixed Havertz.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man. We gonna fix Sterling too. And he's gonna bring his experience and we're gonna revive him. So now all of a sudden, this, as you're saying, Arsenal fans criticising their window, it wasn't like that at the time. But the thing is, it's what I think. The past 12 games, they haven't lost. They haven't lost in the past 12 games. But it's where they've drawn games. You guys have also dropped points and they haven't capitalised on it. And that's what's punished them essentially this year, is the playing style has dropped. Now, retrospectively, they're looking at the window and saying it's not good enough. But then also in moments where you should be capitalising on the teams around you dropping, they're also dropping in the same,
because it was City,
Fulham. But to what you're saying, you're so right. But that's why we asked the question. I think the Super Chat's coming saying Arsenal on the same points through 20 games as last year. That's great. So you're on the same trajectory. Last year, doing what you did wasn't enough. So in the summer, or when you come back for the next year, the whole point is, how do we become better? It's not about staying stagnant. When the playing style also changes, fans get worried, because it's like, hold on, last season, we were getting through it. It was great. It felt good. At the moment, it feels like you're kind of suffering your way to success. And it feels like you're not going to get success because the team in front of you have got a healthy lead above you and you don't capitalise on anything. So you then have to ask the questions, okay, what's going on? I had an Arsenal fan tell me this week that Arteta's their Southgate. And I was like, whoa, it's a bit too early for that.
He's their Brendan Rodgers.
The man that takes you...
He's their Brendan Rodgers.
That takes you to, like,
bridge.
Yeah, it's the bridge over, but you need someone else to go forward.
That's mad.
I was like,
it's true.
Do you reckon that?
Nah,
you reckon
Brendan Rodgers, as soon as they competed afterwards, you guys never competed.
Yeah, we never competed again, so he's probably outlasted that phase.
I think the Southgate thing, don't get me wrong, Southgate, European finals, whatnot, but I think that's a brazen... I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
But alright then, I've got a mad one for you, because I've been saying this for... Tottenham under Poch were better than I've ever seen.
Zooming on Fuad,
bro, I'm not.
Did I not tell y'all 12 months ago?
It's an uncomfortable
Look
conversation.
where we are now.
They don't want to hear it, bro. But that's the truth. For me, it comes down to their fans have got this complex that City was going to be the be-all, and it was we going to capitalise when City fall off. And the fact that City didn't hit the ground running and they've had the struggles, they focus too much on other things instead of their own camp. What are we doing? They're too busy watching what next man are doing instead of actually focusing on their own thing and their own operation. And from when they've done that, they kind of and from as a Liverpool fan,
but does that affect them on the pitch though?
Yeah, because they haven't given Liverpool the respect that Liverpool
the players though.
Liverpool,
I don't think the players do. It's the fans, isn't it?
It's the fans. I'm talking about fans, of course. But like Liverpool as a team have been there, not only done it, but they've been there in and around City. They've had reasons to drop off, and you could argue some of it is self-inflicted, certain situations with Klopp, whatever. But we've been there. So to completely dismiss Liverpool as if once City drop off, it's just us that are going to be in it, that was naive from Arsenal fans. And I think there's been a level of complacency that the players have then taken into it, into the fact that they've been like, all right, then cool, we just have to tick over, and as long as we stay on the same trajectory like you just mentioned and keep a par, that should be enough. Whereas Liverpool's objective from the start of the season was, how can I extract more out of what I've already got? They was hoping that other players were going to prop them up, and they flattered to deceive.
I was going to say, from your perspective, what do Arsenal do now? Because obviously Starboy's injured, the young youth that comes in is bringing some sort of life to you is now injured. We don't know how long for. You have a situation where you've heavily padded your team to be more defensive. You're not free scoring as you used to be. What do Arsenal do now to either get the momentum back again or just try and move in the direction they want to go to? Because if you look at it right now, it's not, as you said, you're on level where you were last season, but is that going to be enough? I don't know.
For me, when I look at Arsenal, I think a lot of times, you know, people, okay, we can talk about the player quality, we can talk about whatever. One thing for Arsenal is defensively, we know they're very good. Saliba and Gabriel, honestly, their efforts are going to go unseen because these two are sensational. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Lockdown nearly every single game. But my thing with Arsenal, and one thing that I've noticed is, even if Arsenal went on to win the league, or if Arsenal are where they are not good enough in transition, bro. Arsenal do not punish teams in transition, barely ever. I remember they got that goal against Liverpool, Saka, this quick ball over the top by Ben White, Saka, punished. I remember Martinelli against Brighton maybe last season, punished.
They did it
Nwaneri, yes, a couple times. Saka versus Davis. Nwaneri, just the other day, a transition moment. I feel like Arsenal, you can score goals. Yeah, their attacking quality might not be peak, but you can score goals and still be a little bit more free if when they get the ball, they're a little bit quicker to go forward. So Odegaard can play outlet passes. So I'm not saying be like Manchester United or be like, but I was watching Chelsea just the other day. Everything on transition, you guys were nearly scoring. But we don't punish. You don't punish, but Man City as well. Like, look at the best teams. Look at when Leicester won the Prem. Look at when Man United have won it. The old Arsenal teams, Man City, Chelsea, even under Jose Mourinho, Conte. They are always very good in transition moments. So when teams come at you, bro, you really dared to come at us. Boom, we're gonna go and kill you. But Arsenal, I feel like they set themselves up too much. So now all of a sudden, they played 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 passes. The opposition have set back up now. And now you have to wait and wait and wait. But Arsenal, they don't really go for it. How many times do we see Salah and we're like, how has Salah managed to be running in this much space? Is because Liverpool might leave Salah up. They might leave Salah up. They play it to him dead.
Liverpool
but Arsenal don't do that.
Play this season.
Arsenal don't do that.
Opposition corners,
you counter-attack from there. So you're more hesitant to really go for it.
But
you'll take your chance if it comes.
Arsenal are better, you're leaving so many chances on the table if you're not good at transition. Because there's so many times that team, and the thing is, when you've got defenders like Saliba and Gabriel, and then you've got someone as athletic and crazy in covering space like Declan Rice,
you don't need seven
guys
guys
can
back.
go forward.
But I don't think Declan Rice has been at the level that he was at last season either.
I hear that. I think
that's a problem as well. Like
where I said before, he's still been competitive though.
He's been competitive, but he had more standout. Like from my perspective, when I seen them, the money that they dropped on Declan Rice, don't really have to talk about his price tag because I think he, by and large, is performed to a good level.
Yeah.
But he was meant to be transformative for that team. Virgil van Dijk, when we dropped those P's on Virg, it was right. We need to now go and win shit.
I think you're highlighting something that's so key. Declan Rice, in terms of his profile, is what he is as a player. If you look at what that profile is, when you're talking about transformative, most people think transformative is something that is all-encompassing parts of the game. Whereas what he offers for Arsenal is a specific component which is great for them. But if you, like you said, if you have a core of two amazing centre halves and Declan Rice, you don't need three other bodyguards. Really, truly.
No team has ever won the league without being good in transition. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. No team has won it. Chelsea's Jose Mourinho team was seen as the most defensive teams to be winning it. Bro, Damien Duff, Robin, Sean Wright-Phillips, Joe Cole. And either way, they might just give it long to Drogba. He'll win a header down. Boom. But Arsenal are way too slow to go in and punish. And then you start looking at it and you do start saying, oh, Arsenal are playing defensive football. But then it's because now every team are set up backs against the wall. They're not creating moments where it's a little bit chaotic. But a little bit. Sometimes it has to be that way.
Teams have cottoned on as well. Teams have cottoned on at the end of the day. Like
Jesus will thrive under that football.
You almost feel like they've tried to make it too much of a formula and a science rather than letting that kind of freedom of the game.
You need a lot of quality to consistently, every single week, break down a low block. You need to have KDBs. You need to have Silva. You need to have these type of Salah. You need to have these type of players. So if Arsenal haven't got that, how do you guys make it easier for you to score goals? It's gonna be in transition moments. I've seen Dan James look deadly in transition. Average player like that.
On the Ollie.
No
question for you then. No. So is it more Arteta's stubbornness to be reactive to what you're saying there in the transition, or is it the players' lack of that killer instinct?
I think it's a combination of both, and they're both butting their heads at the same time, because when you've had Saka and Saka's able to do stuff, you kind of think we haven't got a problem. We've been saying that Saka probably needs a break for how long? And Arsenal fans would tell you it wasn't because
it's negligent. At this point, it's just negligent.
But the thing is, what Arsenal fans would tell you is that his minutes have been managed this season. Okay, well, that's well and good, but the law of averages tells you that eventually someone's going to get injured. Martinelli on the other side, not really up to it. You start to see that trying to do this pragmatic approach and not having that many players that are energized to do something fresh, it comes back to bite you. Your young player comes in now, everyone's like, oh my gosh, we've got a little something here. He gets injured. So now you're in January thinking, once again, Arteta, are you going to spend the money and make all of your forwards go hold on? Maybe my place is at jeopardy here and bring someone that can do a little bit something different? Or are you just going to rely on what you've been relying on? Because, again, going back to last season, this is not how Arsenal played. They've deliberately changed how they play, and it's not really suiting or getting the best out of them in this sort of manner. So you've got to tweak something. If they keep going like this, I don't see them pulling up trees for the rest of the season. I see them just kind of stagnating and doing that.
Coasting.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not in a position where, don't get me wrong, the league is not a foregone conclusion. There's still cup games to be played.
Yeah.
You need to do something in this window that not only gets your fans, oh my gosh, we're going to try and do something.
Yeah.
But just restore some sort of feeling.
I think, look, January, they've said they've financially got no problems. They're actually pretty good. You should be doing something this January.
Show a bit of ambition.
There's an opportunity there. You're 6 points behind. All right, Liverpool have a game in hand or whatever. But make this a race as much as you can. Do not sit back and just think, you know what, injuries will come back and Saka will come back. And
it doesn't help when the fans are waving the white flag though, bro. You've got fans coming out online at the moment saying, congratulations, Liverpool.
That's where you as a club restore faith. For example, when you lot made Van Dijk that midway signing through the season, you're thinking, you know what?
Champions League go there. Get to a final. We get to the final.
You see it now. Similar thing. They're still in the Champions League. Yeah. But we hear all of this talk about Arsenal fans about Premier League. Why do they never talk about the Champions League?
I actually think their football suits the Champions League more.
Why is that never a discussion? As you said, their football is suited to it. Last year, you look at it, they kind of struggled against Porto. Bayern Munich, I thought they could have got them out of there. Before the game, everybody had them down as favourites. Instead, you let them go through. Bro, the landscape, you look at the European landscape this year, Who really is taking Europe by the storm like that this year? Liverpool's the only team you could say.
But that's a league format right now. While it's a league format, it's suiting us. Once it becomes that, you knock out.
Anything can happen. But through to your point as well, the difference is because, you know, last time when they had the window, they reinforced in a way that was for where they were at the moment, which was Jorginho, Jesus. Arsenal have to be looking forward. It's not about where we are at the moment. It's like where we want to be. How do you sign stuff? That's what I'm saying. How do you
look down? Look at now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, no, but what I'm saying is in the sense that when they got Jorginho and everything, it was kind of like patch up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you need to sign to where you're going. You want to go. You want to be winning leagues. Make a sign that people go raw.